Hello to all my insomniac people who watch these things. Hopefully this one will help you go to sleep tonight. It's really almost nobody in the world will be actually knowing about the use of linear phase crossovers. So just talking to an audience of maybe 2 or 3 people. I think there is linear phase EQs in some DSPs, but as far as my system goes, I've generally used linear phase crossovers from the beginning, like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever, just because I thought it was a neat way, in a purely electrical sense, of when you split your crossovers and then put them back together, they sum perfectly in phase and magnitude. And I've just ran with that because that was how it was. And it's also quite a lazy way of getting perfect crossovers without having to calculate your slopes and that sort of garbage. But just recently been hearing a lot of systems by other people tuned quite well. And the thing that was interesting to me was transients and just pure timing. I could hear this tiny little 0.5% just in the high mids and trebles, and I was thinking it'd be good to have that immediacy through my system, and I was always putting it down to maybe just I was using soft domes so much in my high end. So anyway, I thought I'd recreate my crossovers in minimum phase. And of course, I can put it on a button, swap minimum to linear, and as you see down here, the buttons correspond to the changing of the tracks. And in one we have the linear. That's my linear phase crossover, and this one is my copy, and I made a direct copy because this is a learning EQ. So this is learnt the EQ, so they're in 4 dB increments. It just learnt the slope, minus probably about 50. I don't know how far it goes down. So 50 is enough for me. And I just started listening, and I did go for a test drive today already. And I just keep hitting this button, and what I just put my hand over it, press it 20 times, and I don't know what it is, and don't have the screen on. I'll turn this down so I can talk. And so yeah, I made sure all the timing was right. I tried to null them all out so that they're all on the same, 0.5 mil kind of thing. And for a while I couldn't tell. I was listening more for spatial cues, and that's got a lot to do with the crossover regions blending differently because of the different phase. And that's basically one of the only reasons why I did use linear phase to begin with. I had the belief that speakers would blend together properly with linear phase, but then that's not including the speaker's own phase problems between the groups. So there's probably one little misstep I was having. Anyway, I could only test this with transients, so let's go back. So I was just listening to the treble. I'll turn the treble up. So one of those is a bit. So this comes back to a new kind of understanding I'm having. One of them is sharper than the other, and yet the EQ is the same. And that's just the timing. So I've got it, 4 out of 5 times. Minimum phase is giving me the transients I was missing, and it's not even in my correction EQ, it's just my crossovers, and I still have a bone to pick with my correction EQ as well, which is I have the choice of minimum and linear, and there is a trade-off there in depth, which I'm going to dig deeper into. So far, replacing my linear phase crossovers with minimum phase has been evidently a good move. I went for a nice long drive today by the seaside, and just nice, clearer. You can help you focus in on the story of the I don't know. Just you can see further into the picture a little bit, or you're not off put by this slight dreaminess of the music. It's more immediate, so it's probably as close as I can describe at this point in time. Here's just another quick example. I was doing this blind, with my finger over it, swapping linear minimum in just the crossovers, and this kick drum in here on linear sounds like a kissing sound. So you've got the before the you have a sucking sound, and minimum just sounds like a and so or two different sounds, and it's I guess you have to be here. Maybe it'll come through. Who knows? I guess what I'm trying to say is that you don't always have to understand something, and that includes me, but when you hear the better thing, you should just run with it and stick with it, because it's better, and we're all grown-ups and we like better things, and you don't always have to know the exact reason. So that's where I'm at. I'm slowly chinking away at some of my stubborn, long-held beliefs, or maybe I just haven't got around to really questioning them yet. So stay tuned for me discovering more things that maybe I have believed that I no longer believe, which is okay.